The first one that I have is coming in from Kian, and he's writing to us from Hyderabad. He has about 170 shares of Adani Energy Solutions at the price of around 896.7 rupees per share. Rajesh, he wants to know what should he do with this holding right now.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on your show. So if we see the recent chart structure of Adani Energy, so we have seen some volatile moves in this counter. 2 weeks back, the stock rallied from the levels of 900 to 1100, but now it is back around its support of 900. So as of now, the trend remains positive and a highly volatile counter. If he is holding any longs, 900 would be a stop loss, and the higher side, if any bounce is there, so 1050, 1100 would be a stiff resistance. So as of now, hold with a stop loss below 900. Once it breaks 900, we can expect some further correction in this counter. So keep a strict stop loss of 900.
All right, that's coming in on Adani Energy. The next query that I have, Gaurang, is coming in on Zomato, wherein Jay from Mumbai is already holding 150 shares, but his buy price is a little higher at 275 rupees. He's though holding this for the long term, but at this price point, where he's getting the stock at a cheaper rate, would you suggest to go ahead and buy more?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and calling to all of you all, Srishti. Well, I think it's a prudent sense because the numbers were much better than what the estimate of the street and our estimate was. I think at current price point, somewhere close to about 250 odd levels, your downside is protected. And in terms of upside, we have currently set aside a target of somewhere close to about 285. But I'm quite sure, Srishti, with the kind of contribution that Blinkit is bringing into the balance sheet, and along with that, that festive charge of 10 rupees is still there on Swiggy and Zomato. It is not yet gone, though the festive season is over. So I wonder when they are going to take it or roll it back. But touch points are improving. GOPs, that is gross order value, is also improving. And more importantly, I think the subscriber base is also increasing. So overall, stay invested, but prudent to add at current levels to bring down the cost of acquisition.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Zomato. Let me take this next query then. This one is coming in from Ghosh Dada. Wants to know about Tata Power, 12,000 shares. He's already gone ahead and booked a good set of profits on this one. But he wants to know whether he should go ahead and buy some more of Tata Power at this price, Rajesh. He's saying that fundamentally, he believes that Tata Power has a fantastic future going ahead. Gaurang, maybe if you want to come in on that particular front. But Rajesh, do you think it makes sense to buy some more of Tata Power right now?
So if we see the recent chart structure of Tata Power, it has been trading in a range where for 410, 420, it's a 200 DMA and the recent lower range. So definitely on a strong support zone. And if we see, if we compare it with the broader market sell-off, this stock has shown relative strength. And as market rebounds, I think this is likely to be one of the performers. So yes, definitely can buy on dip. 420, 415 is a support. On the higher side, if we see, we are seeing, choppy upswing. So any upside towards 470, 480 can be looked to book profits.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Tata Power. But what's your take fundamentally, Gaurang? Do you agree that this one really has a bright future going ahead? Ghosh Dada already has made a good set of profits. He booked out of it, wants to re-enter this one.
Well, for one, that I would advise the Ghosh Dada is that don't do this entry exit because you may end up losing out on your investment if the stock rallies. You are fortunate that you've sold it out, and now because of the market correction, it is available possibly at a lower price than what he has sold it at. Having said that, Cheryl, morning to you also. We have a positive coverage. Our target is close to about 500 odd rupees, which is very, very conservative according to me. With the kind of new capex and new footprints that the company is putting in, and already ventured into the charging stations for EVs. My sense is that the entire power generation, power transmission, and power distribution, all these three make a universe called power sector. So you need to keep your eyes on all three: power generating companies, power transmission companies, and power equipments. So I would definitely urge him to go and invest in Tata Powers, but refrain from doing this exit entry.
All right, that's the take coming in on Tata Power, both fundamentally as well as technically. We got a view. But moving on to the next one, and Rajesh, this query is coming in from Anand from Bangalore, holding 5 shares of Dixon, and his buy price is 4,850 rupees. Can he go ahead and book profits at this price point, or would you suggest to hold this one for a long-term period?
Definitely can hold on to it. If we see IT space as well as this counter has shown immense, tremendous outperformance and can hold on to it. We expect the stock can head further towards 17,000 in the near term. The support for the stock is placed around 14,800. So hold on to it. It continues to move in a high top, high bottom structure.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Dixon Tech. Let's take the next query then. And this one is coming in from Amit. He's writing to us from Mumbai. He has 40 shares of Adani Power at a price of 1,470 rupees per share, as well as 50 shares of Coal India at the price of 470 rupees per share. He wants to know whether it makes sense to accumulate some more to average out his price in both of these counters, or stay put with whatever he has. Adani Ports is the counter. So Adani Ports, the buy price is 1,470 and 50 shares of Coal India at 470 rupees per share. What's your take coming in on this one, Gaurang? Let me take your view actually on both of these counters.
So while on Coal India, we have target closer to 600, Cheryl, we are maintaining our positive stance. Company has improved the quality and quantity of coal as far as the mining activity is concerned. Needless to say that these kind of corrections can be used as a buying opportunity for Coal India. For Adani Ports, I believe it was Adani Ports that he's talking about. So let me just comment on the entire logistics stroke ports, container handling companies. While we aspire to become the next trillion-dollar economy, while we also aspire to become the largest manufacturing hub, I think one needs to note a point over here that when we reach those kind of capabilities and capacities, logistics and port logistics, especially companies which are operating over here. I won't comment specifically on Adani Ports because we don't have a coverage, but it is one of the strongest companies in terms of its presence and has got great capabilities and capacities existing, and they are venturing possibly into more expansion plans. So all these, port logistic companies are likely to do well.
Right, that's the take coming in on both of these names. But Gaurang, let me once again come to you to have your take on two of the large cap names, and both are the result candidates and the most beaten down names in today's trading session. No surprises there. One of them is Asian Paints, wherein Raja is holding 50 shares at an average price of 3,055 rupees, and the other stock is Aarti Industries. Gaurang, he's holding 95 shares. His buy price is 392 rupees. He's been holding this for the long term, and hence on Aarti Industries, he's still at some profits. What to do with both of these names, Gaurang, and what should be the strategy?
Well, so both Asian Paints, we are maintaining a target of 3,000 plus. For Aarti Industries, we have a target of somewhere close to about 740. No denying, Shrishti, that both these companies delivered a set of numbers which was absolutely not expected, and hence the result of what we are seeing. In fact, Aarti Industries started correcting much before the market also started to correct in the month of October. We need to have a lot of patience with the investment in Aarti Industries and Asian Paint. The reason why the stock have corrected quite sharply, for them to bounce back will take time. Numbers that will come in the third and the fourth quarter in the next financial year will possibly give us more clarity in terms of where the company is heading. But as of now, you will need to stay invested. If you've invested at higher levels, possibly if you have investable amounts, you can invest a little bit more. And the problem here, Shrishti, is that out of 4 quarters in a financial year, one or 2 quarters can have difficult time, keeping in mind the environment and the headwinds that the company or the sector has to face. But does that mean that you have to change your view in terms of your long-term investment? I don't think it's going to be prudent.
All right, so that's the take coming in on that query. Let's take a break on this note, and when we come back, we'll continue taking your stock-related query, viewers, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, show where we get you answers for all of his stock-related queries. We have our experts today. We have Rajesh Bhosale, who's joined us on the technicals, while we have Gaurang, who's there with us for the fundamentals. Let's continue taking all of his stock-related queries then. And this one is coming in from Vignesh. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He has 150 shares of Natco Pharma at a price of around 1,470 rupees per share. He wants to know for how long should he hold on to it, what sort of a target should he eye out on this one. And also, Rajesh is saying that he's looking to add 50 more shares of Natco Pharma in his portfolio today. Do you think, A, is the right move to go ahead and add some more at this price of Natco Pharma, as well as the other part of the query, since he's already holding Natco Pharma at the price of around 1,470 rupees, what sort of a target should he eye?
So Natco Pharma, if we see the weekly chart, 2 weeks back, it formed a bullish engulfing formation. That's a positive indication and a higher bottom structure. So for now, I would suggest if he can wait for further dip towards 1350, there he can add. That is a 89 EMA on the daily chart. So buy around 1350. And on the higher side, if we see 1580 to 1600 is a resistance zone. So he has to recheck around those levels if prices can recross those levels, because from there we had seen a price correction. So 1580, 1600 is the resistance. But if he gets a dip around 1350, the stock has already shown a reversal sign. So he can buy around those levels.
All right, moving on then, and Gaurang, the next query that I have is coming in from K. Kumar from Chennai, and he wants to have your take on Reliance Industries. Can he go ahead and buy more of Reliance Industries at this price point? He's been already holding some shares. He didn't share the buy price, but what's the outlook and in the long run? Any targets that you have for this company? And Gaurang, also help him with your take on Yes Bank for the long term. Would you advise to go ahead and buy afresh? He's a senior citizen, but still can take some calculated risk. So what will be your view?
Well, let me come to the second question first, Srishti. You are a senior citizen, you don't need to take any risk. And is it the fact that Yes Bank is the only bank that is listed in the universe as far as the Sensex and Nifty is concerned? I don't think so. There are a lot of credible banks, and we have a history of performance as far as Yes Bank is concerned. Though I won't give any specific recommendations because we don't cover Yes Bank. But my advice to him would be that since you are a senior citizen, you should go with niche and marquee names. Buy quality, don't buy quantity. Just because the stock is at 20 rupees or 15 rupees or 25 rupees or maybe a single digit stock, not necessarily that stock can give you a multi-bagger return. It can become half of where it is right now. So please bear this in mind. So I would request him to go for a State Bank of India, Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, amongst the other public sector banks. I think Indian Bank or maybe something like a Bank of Baroda would be a decent investment. On your first question, Reliance Industries, we have a target of 1520 on Reliance Industries. Srishti, in correction, what we've seen in the month of October gone by and current what we are witnessing in the month of November, and the fact that FI selling was largely in large cap stocks because the concentration is focused over there. Large cap stocks have become very attractive in terms of valuation. So what we've been advising our clients is that look at large cap first and then possibly trickle down to select mid caps sectorally. His advice is giving him the advice. Well, if you had invested, stay invested. If you want to add, you can add more. And if you want to make a fresh investment, you can do that as well.
All right, amidst of that query, while Gaurang was answering, he did make very pertinent point that one should look at quality and not at quantity. And just because the stock is in single digit, that doesn't mean that it's a right investment opportunity for you, because quality really matters. Fundamentals matter when you talk about a company somewhere or the other. So yes, that's a very pertinent point made by Gaurang about anyone who's investing in the market. But let me take this next query then, and this one is coming from Deep. He's writing to us from Dubai. And Rajesh, he has Maruti at a price of 11,419 rupees per share. He has about 100 shares of Maruti in his portfolio. He wants to know what's the short-term outlook for this one.
So as of now, the stock is showing some support around its weekly 89 EMA, and last week we saw a morning star formation. So we are expecting some bounce in the Maruti, at least towards the levels of 12,000 level. So for now, he can hold on to it. If we compare Maruti with Tata Motors, so Tata Motors, we are expecting further bounce in recent times. If we see the stock is placed around its 61.8 retracement. Also, the weekly charts are looking reversal signs. So if compared Maruti with Tata Motors is showing signs of major reversals from current levels.
All right, that's the take coming in on both of these auto majors. But moving on then, and Rajesh, the next query that I have is coming from Dayanand from Bangalore, holding 1,000 shares of Bajaj Housing Finance, and his price point is 140 rupees. Rajesh, given the limited stock price history, would you be able to advise him?
Since there is limited technical data, I won't be able to comment on it.
Understand, Gaurang, but let me have your take on this one. He's holding 1,000 shares, buy price 140 rupees, but he wants an outlook just for like 1 year. So would you be able to help him what to do with this one?
Srishti, I'll try to help him by giving a view on the sector because we did not have any coverage on the IPO front as far as Bajaj Housing is concerned, and nor do we have a standalone fundamental coverage. So rather than giving us stock specific coverage, let me give you an input in terms of what the outlook for the sector is. So housing finance sector, we expect it to do very well. As far as Bajaj Housing Finance is concerned, well, before the IPO and post the IPO, the management commentary was that they are likely to grow at 12 to 15% per annum. And then you have to do your own mathematics. Interest rates coming down, Srishti, is very positive for housing finance companies and a reflection of how the real estate sector is doing well. If it is doing well, then that reflection spills over to the housing finance companies also. The kind of projects that some of the real estate sector companies are launching, it's huge in terms of opportunity for housing finance companies. So, the sector is good. It comes from a very good pedigree corporate house, Bajaj that is, and possibility of scaling the business to the next level. The only problem for certain investors may be the price point at which he or she has got invested.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. More queries on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock related queries. Then, and the next query that I have, Rajesh, let me take it from you. This query is coming in from Swati, and she wants an advice on two of the counters, that is PFC as well as REC. She is a long-term investor, but given the up move today, the stock are once again back to her buy price. So what to do with PFC and REC, and would you recommend a fresh buy even at these levels, given the stock, both of these counters have corrected very much in the past couple of months?
Definitely, yes. If you see PFC and REC, after forming a base for the last couple of weeks, they are now showing resumption of up move, and this up move can continue in the near term. Possibly PFC can head towards 530, 550 levels. So yes, definitely a positive reversal in today's session. Along with that, REC Limited, after forming a base on 200 DMA, as of now it continues to be in a range, but in line with PFC, we do expect REC to perform, possibly headed towards 600. So yes, definitely PFC, REC can be bought at current levels as well. And if they are holding on to it, yes, hold on to it.
All right, that's advice coming in on PFC and REC. But Rajesh, let me come to you for the next query coming in from Partha. He too is a senior citizen, and he is holding some of the financial names such as RBL Bank, 600 shares bought at a price of 215 rupees, and the other one is the Jeevan Small Finance Bank, holding 2,000 shares, and his buy price is close to 48 rupees. Rajesh, he is at a loss in both of these names. What will be your advice? What to do? Hold, sell, or maybe go ahead and average?
So if we see RBL Bank and Ujjivan both are underperformance, and even now we don't expect any major outperformance from both this counter. So I would suggest better they can exit as in the short term as well. Long term, the stock is headed further downside. So they can exit and they can switch to prominent names like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and if they want to enter in mid-sized banking space, then City Union Bank and Federal Bank are the two picks which we expect are likely to perform in the near term. So a focus on heavyweights, and if he wants to enter mid space, then Federal Bank and City Union Bank would be the preferred picks.
All right, this next query that I have is coming from Gautam. He's writing to us from Mumbai and he wants to know which is a better bet, Tata Motors or Hyundai at this point in time, both in technical and fundamental point of view. His time horizon is about 12 to 18 months, and since you have Hyundai that is just listed, I will skip the technical analysis on this one. I'll come to you, Gaurang. What's your view, Tata Motors or Hyundai?
This is a very difficult one, Cheryl, because we have coverage on, when the IPO was there, we had a coverage on Hyundai Motors India Limited IPO. And as a standalone fundamental coverage, we also have coverage on Tata Motors. So without being biased to either of them, I would advise him to go 50-50. If you have 100 rupees, put 15 Tata Motors and put 15 Hyundai.
Right, that's the advice on both of these names. But the next query that I have, Rajesh, let me have your take on this one. This query is from a viewer named DS. He's holding 75 shares of Orient Cement. Out here, his buy price is 117 rupees. Good to book out profits or stay invested. And the other stock he wants an advice on is Trent. One of the result candidates' results were posted just last week. But at this price point, do you believe that it could be a good entry point for him?
So Orient Cement, definitely the trend is positive, but if we see last couple of weeks, the stock has traded in a range. But having said that, the trend definitely is positive. 320 is a support of 50 EMA, and earlier we have seen that any dip toward it has been bought into. So 320 can be kept as an immediate stop loss. On the higher side, 370, 375 is a target that can be expected once the upward momentum resume. Can you, once again tell the stock of the name of the second stock?
All right. The other stock is Trent, Rajesh.
Yeah, so in last 1 month, the trend has seen a significant price correction. As of now, it is placed around support of 6,000. So that is the one level where he can look to average. For now, the short-term momentum definitely is on the negative side. But if we consider high degree time frame, 6,000 is a very strong support, and one can look to buy or average around those levels.
This next query is coming in from RK Ahuja. It's a bit of a convoluted one. I believe he's asking me 2-3 queries in one, but let me just take two of those. One is he has AU Small Finance Bank, 200 shares and he's at a 15% loss right now, Gaurang. And the other one, he wants to know, should he sell and buy Waaree Energy, which he already has about 9 shares that he got allocated in IPO. So I believe he's talking about AU Small Finance Bank. Does it make sense for him to stay put with this one or look to exit and instead add some more of Waaree Energies in his portfolio, which he already had got in IPO?
So again, a prudent disclosure, Waaree Energies, we had a IPO note, Cheryl, and we had given a subscribe. And on AU Small Finance, again, we have a coverage. I think he's purely comparing the two in terms of the returns that Waaree Energies has given post-listing. It has more than doubled. And the return that AU Small Finance. But, you have to compare apple to apple. You can't compare apple to oranges. As a fundamental advice, I would say that stay invested in Waaree Energies also, making the IPO note as a base of my advice. And we have a buy side recommendation on AU Small Finance as well. Don't try to compare the two and want to jump from here and there. I think that's not going to be prudent.
All right, that's the take in both of these names. But Gaurang, the next query specifically for you coming in from RK Saran, and he wants your advice on Advanced Enzyme for a long-term perspective. For today, the stock is down about 12%. But is this the right time to enter this counter? Any view?
Srishti, we used to cover. Currently, we don't have a coverage, so I won't be able to comment on this.
All right, but let me just have a technical check on this one. And Rajesh, if you can help Mr. Saran on this query, what to do with this name? Would you advise for a fresh buy here?
So as of now, the stock is under tremendous pressure. The next support that comes around is 420. That also coincide with 200 DMA. And during October, I mean, we saw a rally from 420 to 500. So as of now, wait. If it comes around 420, there he can buy with a small stop loss of 410.
All right, so that's the take coming in on advanced enzyme. Let me take this next query then. It's coming in from Bhaskaran, writing to us from Chennai. He wants an advice on Indian Bank for a period of 6 months. I'm unsure whether Bhaskaran has already purchased the counter of Indian Bank or is looking to purchase the counter. I'm not too clear on that particular front actually. But what's your take, Rajesh, when you talk about Indian Bank?
So definitely, banking space, from the banking space, PSU banks have done very well in the last couple of weeks, and especially Indian Bank. If we see the chart of Indian Bank, it has seen a stagnant move of 500 to 580. Last week it saw price correction, but again it has resumed its up move. So this is one of our top picks from the PSU bank, and we expect the stock to head towards 600 in the near term. So definitely hold on to your longs, can add on dips. So 600 is a possible target that we are expecting in a very near term.
All right, that's the take coming in on Indian Bank. But Gaurang, the next query is coming in from Sia from Punjab, and I guess Sia is writing to us for the first time. She actually wants an advice on two counters, and what she has written apart from the queries that is on TVS Supply Chain and Hindustan Unilever is that she's put all her capital in both of these names. She can hold it till February, and the very next month she wants this money for some important event in the family. So what's your advice on this one, whether to hold on to TVS Supply Chains, where she has bought 9,000 shares at a price of 209 rupees. She is indeed at a loss in this one. And the other one is 400 shares of Hindustan Unilever, bought at a price of 2,960 rupees. And what she has also written is that her broker has advised this last month to go ahead and make these investments. So what will be your view and your advice, Gaurang, on this?
Well, Srishti, I think firstly, don't put any money in stock market which you need in the near future. That's the biggest risk that you're taking. You may end up on the positive side if you end up making return. But if you do have to, sell your investment because of your family needs, the first thing is never put it in stock market because your money can, depreciate. All depends upon which way the market goes. And this is a classic example. In want and desire of making quick returns, you have ended up putting your money in stock market and see what has happened. So never put money that you require from a short to medium term for your important issues, or whether you need it for your family or whatever be it. Don't put that money in stock market. That's my humble request. Now, coming to the stocks, well, on TVS Supply Chain, I vaguely recollect, I think we had a coverage during the IPO, but currently we don't have a coverage. On Hindustan Unilever, we have a positive coverage, but that is from a long-term point of view, and long-term is at least 12, 16, 18, 20, 24 months plus, and our target is somewhere close to about 28, 20. But I would again repeat for the benefit of your viewers, don't put your short-term, medium-term money in the stock market thinking that you will end up making money.
Absolutely, and that's a very pertinent point that every investor should know, and all the viewers of ET Now who are actually tuned in, who write to us with the stock query, is a very crucial one, and there is a crucial message coming in from Gaurang. But on that note, thank you so much, Gaurang, as well as Rajesh, for joining us on the show. We're totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Thank you so much for watching.